It is the morning sports desk. I'm CJ Baumgartner, Corey Tackman joining me as well. And in the middle, we have a special guest on the program today. We're talking with Perham head girls basketball coach TJ Super, coming off a Section 8 AA championship, back-to-back titles. Hey, TJ, thanks for joining the program.
Good morning. How's it going?
Let's do it. Let's take a look at that section championship, a victory over Pelican Rapids. I would just break down from the coach's perspective. Girls played well.
Yeah, I thought we played really well. I thought we played well all tournament, really. And, we kind of have a dynamic team, and Willow gets a lot of attention, obviously. And Pelican Rapids had a plan, and they were going to try to take Willow out of the game. And in the first half, they, did that for most of the first half. I think we had 29 points on the board and she only had 4, but obviously we have other girls on the team that can score. We have other girls that can shoot, and they had their plan and it didn't work. And then they had to adjust. And then once they adjust, then they're going one-on-one against Willow. Willow at the end of the game has 35. And so we hit 9 threes in the first half and she has 35. And we're just really tough at that point.
Yeah. Go ahead, CJ. Sorry.
I was going to say, you guys, you talk about Willow, and she's been the story of the season. But as we've talked about, TJ, throughout the last few section playoff games, there's a lot of other good girls around her, and they can do a lot of other stuff. How do those girls all play together? And obviously Willow being the big force on the team, but how does everybody play around her and able to play good team basketball?
Well, it doesn't come naturally to anyone. I mean, anyone that has played basketball, wants to shoot. I mean, that's what you do growing up. Everyone's in the driveway making the game-winning shot. And, we all did it when we were kids. And at some point in time, though, you need to figure out who you are as a team. And, it doesn't just happen without some sacrifice. And we have girls on our team that are willing to sacrifice. But still understanding they're going to have opportunities. And we've had different girls. I think we've had 4 or 5 different girls that have scored over 20 in a game this year. But we also know that we have this goal in mind, and Willow's really dynamic. And, the girls that grew up with her have probably realized it the longest. Kennedy Pilgrim and Riley Mickelson are great examples of this. They both could score points. They both can put the ball in the basket. They're dynamic players. They're dynamic athletes, but they're in the top, Riley's top 20 in assists in the state and Kennedy's top 50 for, a really good reason. They have sacrificed scoring to give the ball to Willow, and Cora Grismer and Kai Anderson are the same thing. And even Kate Diggins comes in off the bench and she's our post. And obviously our post is a focal point when it's Willow, and Kate comes in and she is one of our great passers too. And, you build it up, but what we really emphasize is that people are MVPs in their roles. And as much attention as Willow has gotten, we hope that it's not just about Willow. It's not, about that. We try to build up girls in their other roles because they're really important. And, Holy Family is a really good example. We're just watching Holy Family film, and they have a D1 girl, just like Willow, with very similar stats. And they're out in the quarterfinals of their section. She's going to Butler, but she's done now because they don't have a team that's willing to work around her and do other things around her. And our team is really good. And if we want a shot down the state, we're going to need the whole team.
I'm always fascinated, TJ, by the perspective. Obviously, you're defending Section 8 AA champs, and trying to get back to the state tournament is obviously a goal coming into the season. But what is that conversation like with you and the coaching staff and the team? Is it very out in the air? Is everyone talking about it? Or is it more of that cliched, one day at a time, one game at a time, let's focus on that?
Well, I mean, that's how you build, is one day at a time. And, you take every game one day at a time. But no, there's no bones about it. When we got done with state, the next day we were talking about getting back to state. It is clear and obvious that we were going to be the section favorites. And so there's no reason to talk anything about it besides the fact that we were. And that's what we want to be. We want a target on our back. We hope that next year, even though we graduate 3 really good starters and 4 great seniors, we want teams by the end of the summer to be wow, they're really good again. And so we want to be the section favorites. And it's what the goal is. Conference championship, section championship, go to state, make some damage down there. And, if you are the best, then you might as well be it. That's what we say. And we're clearly the best team in the section the last 2 years. We want to keep that thing going.
And, throughout the season, you guys played a very tough schedule, a lot of good teams in Class 2A, obviously Minnehaha, team that's ranked third in the state tournament bracket. You guys played them. You've played some other teams out there. You're holding forward in a really good section with Albany, but a really nice team. I mean, talk about some of those wins throughout the season and how they've kind of built and gotten you to this point.
Yeah, I mean, you take those, Pelican Rapids, they only lost 4 games this year. 3 of them were to us. They ended ranked 7th in the state. Duluth Marshall was another really good team. Underwood, which is the number 3 seed, 3 or 4, I can't remember, in Class A. I think we ended up with like 7 or 8 wins of teams that ended in the top 20 in their class. And we ended up playing like 10 or 11 games against teams that were at some point in time state ranked. Our goal is to get down to state and be able to do something. Obviously, we got the number 1 seed. We have the giant in the tournament. And so, we're a little disappointed that we weren't seeded because we thought we put together a record. We thought we put together our schedule that said that when we get down there that we should be treated like one of the best teams. Our QRF, our strength of schedule stuff, we were 4th. In the PowerPoints and in QRF, and whatever you look at, it doesn't really matter. But like, we know that we're battle tested. We played Providence last year. We played Albany, Crosby, New London. I mean, we've played all these top teams. And so our goal when we were working on stuff to get ready for this year was to play the best so we could hopefully beat the best. And now I guess we have that opportunity.
It is fascinating, the 30,000 foot perspective on this Class 2A state tournament. There's some unbelievable players in the state, and most of them are in Class 2A, and almost all of them are at the state tournament this year. It is going to be an unbelievable tournament just from a basketball fan perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And, I kind of feel like Willow is overlooked around the state. It's a little disappointing, to say the least, anyway, that you have your obviously Greenway, and all these other superstars deserve what they get. But the Tori Orlean, the Maddie Greenway, and then you have the Albany girls. And I mean, like you said, like, it is a star-studded state tournament. And I feel like, Perham has just gotten a little bit of not disrespect, but lack of respect around the state for that regard. But when you look at the AA state tournament, I mean, almost every single team that you play, you're going to have someone that you're going to have to like focus on. We feel like we have one of those girls, and we obviously get Providence. They have 4 Division I starters, girls that have been offered D1 schools, and the 5th one is a Division I sprinter. And so we know what we have in front of us, but we're definitely going to have a plan in place, and we're going to have we're going to have a strategy that we're going to try to execute, and we're going to go, and our plan is going to be to win that game.
When you get down there, obviously the state tournament can be kind of overwhelming for some teams. You get down there and you're in the cities, you're playing at the pavilion or at the barn, and there's a lot of great talent. But, how much does being there the year before and coming back, how much does that help in the preparation for the week of the state tournament? And you think getting down there just to have a little bit more business-like approach, you still can enjoy being down there in the moment, but, kind of that like, oh my gosh, we're here, is maybe not quite there as it was the year before. Do you kind of see that, or how do you approach getting ready for the state tournament like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a full itinerary last year, and this year we just copied it over and then made some adjustments. We thought, there's a couple things that we didn't like that we did last year. Maybe we just went a little bit early or too late to some places. And we already have our contacts for where we're going to be practicing, probably in the same gym that the University of Maryland men are going to be practicing. We have to work around them at the Big Ten tournament. So maybe we'll get a scrimmage session in. I don't know. But either way, I think it is very helpful. I think it's more relaxing, like girls this is what we're going to do. We're an out-of-state team, or an out-state team anyway. So we're going to be traveling on Tuesday morning, where other teams Providence will be going to school Tuesday and Wednesday, where we're going to be in hotels and whatever. So that makes it a little bit easier now that we know what's happening. I like that you said it's a business trip. I mean, that was basically our motto throughout the year was business. Like, let's take care of business. That's what we're going to be doing. And, maybe you saw some of the girls on Instagram, that was their like, hey, another business trip to the cities. And so that's the way we're going to approach it. We're definitely going to have fun. This team has a ton of fun. So we're going to do that, but we are going to treat it like it's a trip to get something done.
Coach, I don't have any really other questions for you other than to say, is there any like special message you want to get out there to Yellowjackets Nation and make sure you can get yourself down to the barn, enjoy some state tournament basketball? What's the message to them?
Well, obviously there's been a little bit of negative response to the seed, or the lack of seed for that matter, as there probably should be. We're a little bit frustrated, but the message that we've been telling our girls is that, like, we will have a plan in place. We are going to compete, and our plan is to win. And we know what is in front of us. But, we went down to Minnehaha and played them this year, and we competed really well. It got away from us at the end, but we had a lot more fans than Minnehaha did, and they're right in the cities. And so we want to have a lot more fans than Providence will have. My only thought when I saw it come out and I started thinking about it was, they don't make movies about the teams that are supposed to win. Okay. Right. So, that's kind of what our thought is. Like, if we're going to do something, we might as well do something really special and have some fun with it.
Love it.
We're talking with Perham head girls basketball coach TJ Super, joining us on the morning sports desk. By the way, coverage of that game for Perham and Providence Academy, first round of the state tournament at the barn, Wednesday, 6:00 tip-off. We'll have coverage here on the Superstation K106 as well. TJ, we appreciate you taking the time to talk about your team. It's been a fun run for them all season long. It's been fun getting to follow them through the playoffs, and it's going to be a fun game to watch on Wednesday no matter what.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good luck.